This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton has received a major accreditation. We'll tell you about it next. Hello viewers, my name is Ken Kara and I want to take a moment to thank you for watching us on SSPTV and SSPTV.com. We start the show with headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker right now. Hazleton police are looking for 4 or 5 people involved in a home invasion and robbery last night in the city. According to police, the suspects entered a home in the 600 block of North Vine Street around 10 p.m. They were armed with long guns and handguns and told everyone to be quiet while they looked for items and fled the residence. No other details have been released. Anyone with information on last night's home invasion is asked to call Hazleton police by dialing 911. And then about 2 hours later, police were called to the area of 3rd and Mongeau Street to investigate a report of approximately 12 gunshots being fired in the street. Again, anyone with information on that incident is asked to call Hazleton police by dialing 911. Police are also investigating an attempted robbery that happened yesterday afternoon around 3:30 at Domino's Pizza on North Church Street in Hazleton. Police say a man wearing dark clothing entered the restaurant and demanded money from the register. He entered a silver Honda Odyssey minivan, which was seen leaving the area on West 15th Street at a high rate of speed. Anyone with information, again, asked to dial 911. And police are investigating an armed robbery that occurred just after 8 p.m. at the intersection of West 6th Street and Lafayette Court. A black male with facial hair wearing a white jacket forcibly took a white iPhone 5C from a juvenile male. The suspect pointed a handgun at the victim and then fled west on West 5th Street. Anyone with information, again, call Hazleton police by dialing 911. A water main break forced an early dismissal today at Holy Family Academy in Hazleton. School principal Donald Basic told FYI that work was being done on a gas line in front of the school when a water line was ruptured sometime between 10 and 10:30 a.m. After learning that they would be without water for several hours, the school sent the students home since the bathroom facilities could not be used. Basic says that there will be school tomorrow for students. However, due to a boil advisory for the next few days, he is asking students to bring a water bottle with them to school since the water fountains will be covered until the advisory, or will not be in use until the advisory is lifted. Again, there will be school tomorrow for students at Holy Family Academy. And tomorrow is Election Day, and Pennsylvania voters will elect 3 new members to the 7-member state Supreme Court. The candidates are, on the Republican ticket, Commonwealth Court Judge Ann Covey from Bucks County, Adams County Common Pleas Judge Michael George, and Superior Court Judge Judy Olson from Franklin Park. The Democrats now, they are Supreme Court Judge Christine Donahue from Point Breeze, Philadelphia Common Pleas Judge Kevin Doherty, and Supreme Court Judge David Wecht from Indiana Township, and independent candidate Philadelphia Common Pleas Judge Paul Payne-Pinto. We talked with Judge Kevin Doherty via telephone today about the historical significance of tomorrow's election.
This is the first time in 311 years that we've had 3 vacancies on this court. The last time it was not even the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. It was called the Provincial Appellate Court, created by William Penn. And now we have 3 seats of a 7-seat court. So the election of 3 new justices will help direct the jurisprudence and the law of Pennsylvania, not only for us, but for our future generations. And it's incredibly important that people understand the significance and the authority of the court, that they come out to vote. Part of my concern is that while we are electing Supreme Court justices, we're also electing trial judges as well as other state appellate. And for example, when you're electing the judge, what people don't realize is that you're giving the judge a pen, and with that pen, they can take your child in a custody case, they can take your home in a mortgage foreclosure case, they can take your livelihood or your employment in a civil case, and they can take your liberty in a criminal case. Yet most people don't know who a judge is until they're standing before one, and then it's too late. My hope is that the court of last resort is the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. If a pen is provided to the wrong judge, or if someone believes that they haven't gotten a fair shake, they have an opportunity to have their case selected by the Supreme Court. And I would like the 3 new justices to be individuals who have the actual ability, work ethic, intellect, and understanding and compassion to make decisions that not only affect the parties before them, but ultimately will affect policy decisions throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Here in our area, there are several races of interest. In the city of Hazleton, voters will elect a new mayor and 2 members of council. And there is a race for Hazleton Area School Board, among many others. Another race that is drawing attention in our area is that for Luzerne County District Attorney. Incumbent District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis is facing a challenge from Democrat Vito DeLuca. We talked with Standard Speaker Managing Editor Mark Ketcher about the race for DA.
Vito DeLuca was the solicitor in Luzerne County for several years, and he weighed in on some important issues facing the county at the time. So he has some voter recognition. Stephanie Salvanis, of course, won 4 years ago on the backs of a public outcry against what was happening with the county at the time. She was seen as a new face, someone who would bring some change, someone who would be different than the establishment. Of course, now 4 years later, she has a record on which to run. So it will really be up to the voters to decide if they approve of her job and her running the office, or if they want to go in a different direction. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Also on the county level, the race for county council. 2 of the 12 candidates seeking 6 seats are from the Hazleton area. Bob Schnee and Mark Rabo are the 2 local candidates on tomorrow's ballot, and an FYI, county council will meet at the Hazel Township Commons building at 6 p.m. on Monday evening. Well, after you cast your ballot, turn to the area's most comprehensive election night coverage, Your Vote 2015, brought to you by the media partners SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Our live election coverage begins at 8 p.m. with commentary from the area's most experienced team, Sam Lassant Sr., Mike DeCosmo, Rick Morelli, and special guest State Representative Tara Toohill. Trust the media partners to keep you covered via television, social media, and our websites. Then read the entire election recap in Wednesday's edition of the Standard Speaker. Live election coverage tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on SSPTV and on SSPTV.com. A little later on FYI, we have weekend cross-country results and all the latest and greatest FYI Coal-Scale High School football rankings. And when FYI comes back after this break, we'll take you to Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton for a big announcement.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
As someone who's participated in several Zumbathons, let me tell you that they are for all dance levels and that they are always a good time. Core Fitness in Hazleton is hosting a Zumbathon to benefit Brandon's Forever Home on Sunday, November 29th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the gym. Get ready to Zumba for 2 hours. Believe me, it goes by in a flash, especially if there's a few Taylor Swift songs mixed in. There's also going to be tricky trays, and you don't have to be dancing to take a chance at winning one of them. You can just stop by in between 4 and 6 p.m. to enter, and you don't have to be present to win. There's also going to be refreshments and prizes. To reserve your spot, call 570-455-7818. Zumba, by the way, is a dance fitness class based on international rhythms. Listen, the players are going to play. The haters are going to hate. Why don't you shake at Core Fitness for a good cause and help out Brandon's Forever Home?
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
November is here, so we have to cherish every nice day we have left weather-wise, so we should really appreciate this week. Here's our local weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 43 degrees with a calm wind. Extended 4-day outlook right now. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 66 degrees. Tuesday night will be clear. We'll have a low in the mid-40s. On Wednesday, sunny once again with a high in the upper 60s. And then on Wednesday night, a slight chance of showers after 1 a.m. Partly cloudy night with a low of 47 degrees. Thursday, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a high of 63 degrees. And then on Thursday night, mostly cloudy with a low of 51. For Friday, 30% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, high in the mid-60s. And then Friday night, again, 30% chance of showers, low of 49 degrees for Football Friday. Well, there's no I in team and there's no I in Level 4 Trauma Center. It took a total team effort for Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton to achieve that status. LVH Hazleton can now provide immediate optimal care for those facing serious, life-threatening, and disabling injuries. Plus, if patients need other interventions or technology, they can be flown or driven to the Level 1 Trauma Center at Lehigh Valley Cedar Crest. The hospital received the accreditation from the Pennsylvania Trauma Systems Foundation. Ann Panic, the Senior Vice President and Chief Nursing Officer at the Lehigh Valley Health Network, called everyone who plays a role in the treatment of trauma patients a dream team. Here's more on the achievement and the crew who made it possible.
As I'd like to remind the public, a trauma center is not a special distinction given to an emergency department or one part of the hospital. It encompasses the services of the entire hospital, from the lab to the blood bank to radiology to social services to every unit and provider that delivers trauma care.
Yeah, it's just not equipment, it's people. I mean, the nurses are just amazing. I mean, they've had to go through in-house training, they've had to go down to the network and do training. We're still continuing that. The physicians need to keep up on certain number of credits per year. You know, they have to go to their routine CMEs in addition to the trauma CMEs. There's processes that we put in place, you know, where we roll out something new and that we have to provide education on that. And everybody's very willing to partake in that and do that. So it just raises the standard continuously, and it's great. You know, it's great to see everybody's excited about it, you know, just like you could probably tell I am, right? So
we have a great culture. People work so hard. Our nurses, our housekeeping staff, our facility staff, our physicians, our EMS teams. It's very rewarding because you're right. We can buy equipment and we can put new buildings up and we can open satellite offices, but it's about the people in those buildings. It's about the caring attitude and treating every single patient as though they were a family member.
There are 4 levels of trauma centers in the Commonwealth. Level 4 centers provide enhanced care to injured patients in the emergency department and put a focus on stabilization and quick transfer to a higher level center. They can also admit mildly injured patients. It's been a 4-year journey to get to this point in Hazleton, so it's a proud moment for the entire team at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. All right, we are getting ready for the next block right here on FYI. It will be sports time, and we have another district champion in our area. District champions, actually, so stay tuned.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Imagine if Linus actually saw the Great Pumpkin. Can you picture how excited he would be? Well, that's how it feels to be a Hazleton area Cougar right now. It's been quite a fall for the Big HA, with the girls tennis team winning the conference, and then they had 2 girls win the district doubles championship. The football team is on the rise. The field hockey team is getting ready for the District 2 championship game. And then there's this. The Lady Cougar cross country team captured the District 2 AAA championship over the weekend. Mary Everdale came back from injury to place 4th at the district meet. Stephanie Inochko was 8th. Kira Feely was 11th. Katie Johnson placed 12th. And Sarah Myers was 19th. All of the Lady Cougars finished in under 23 minutes. Now, at the boys meet, it was Matt Hauser from Hazleton area who won the race with a time of 17 minutes and 9 seconds. He'll be joined at States by teammate Franklin Cunningham, who was 4th. We'll try to catch up with these runners later this week and hear from them. Well, I know it's Monday, but sports fans, you should be thrilled for Friday night. Not only because it's the weekend, but because it's high school football rivalry week and our local teams are battling for playoff spots. And of course, for the title of Kings of the FYI Coal Scale Rankings, let's see where we stand after week number 9. In the Lignite grade, we have Shenandoah Valley still looking for a spark to get things going. Last week, Dave Seaman told us from the Standard Speaker, he told us a lot depends on when you play a team. And for the Blue Devils, they got Marion at a very dangerous time. More on that later as Shenandoah Valley continues to try and build up their program. You look for positives, and head coach Kevin Belinsky did see some bright spots on Friday, and he did like how quarterback Ian McCall performed his reads on Friday. Now to the bituminous grade. These teams are smoking, just ready to catch fire. Tamaqua area falls down a spot in this grade after a loss against one of the dominant teams in the region, Lehighton. Zeke Wassel continues to make plays for the Blue Raiders. He hauled in a 45-yard touchdown pass from Thad Zuber. Hazleton area tops the bituminous this week after a dominant performance against Daniel Boone on homecoming night. The Cougars got their second shutout of the season as their defense only allowed just over 150 yards. Linebacker Eddie Beelan had a sack and a fumble recovery. Adrian Otero picked off 2 passes. On offense, Otero rushed for 167 yards and 3 touchdowns. Carson Kinney racked up 133 rushing yards, and Ryan Wolk passed for over 200 yards. If you're not a huge football fan, trust me, that's a decent night. The Cougars, they'll close their season against rival Berwick. No moves in our anthracite grade. Our hottest teams in the area stayed hot. They are still on fire. North Schuylkill got quarterback Bobby Grigas back, and he had over 200 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. The Spartans will look to finish an up-and-down regular season with 2 straight wins as they host Panther Valley on Friday. For a few weeks, the Golden Bears were like those cute bears that wave at people in YouTube videos. For the record, they did play some great teams. I just needed a visual. Well, now they're back to being terrifying. They led 54-0 at halftime over a Columbia Monturvo Tech team that still has a chance to make the district playoffs. Aiden Irby forced a fumble on the opening kickoff that led to Monoi's first touchdown. Lenny Dolsky rushed for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mason Ryan, 118 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. The Bears are now ready for a rivalry week showdown with Shenandoah Valley. And Marion Catholic is still sitting at number 1. The Colts head coach Stan DeCoste says star running back KJ Snur is back at 100%. He finished with 127 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown as Marion continues to be a dual threat on offense. Quarterback Ethan Kaczynski had 171 passing yards. The Colts face rival Tamaqua in Week 10 as they look to wrap up the Cole Scale title. Oh yeah, and a great spot in the District 11 Single A playoffs. It was a very successful fall sports season up at High Acres, and now the rewards are pouring in for Penn State Hazleton athletes. Sophomore golfers Garrett Madison and Ty Morzilla were named to the Penn State University Athletic Conference All-Conference team. They have the top 2 scoring averages for the local Lions, who finished 3rd in the PSUAC this past season. Junior volleyball player Tina Beeland got an honorable mention from the PSUAC. She had 38 aces and led the team with 97.5 points. The men's soccer team had 4 players make the all-conference team. Kyle Venditti and Stephen Principe were named to the first team. Venditti is a midfielder who led the conference in assists and is 3rd in scoring. Venditti has 18 goals on the year. Principe had 11. Making the second team is defender Tyler Willie and goalkeeper Jimmy Fisher, who made 100 saves and was 2nd in the PSUAC in that category. Well, now Ron Marchetti is here with a crazy prop and a ton of Major League Soccer playoff coverage. Okay, you're going to get one of those 2 in trivia treats.
Yesterday, I found this at my front door with a note that said, "Why did you not mention this blimp in your sports show?" Well, because it is nothing to do with sports. If it was the Goodyear blimp, maybe I would have mentioned something. Anyway, whoever did this has too much time on their hands, definitely. Election Day Eve, November 2nd. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Trivia Treats. I want to wish my new daughter-in-law, Kelly Marchetti, a very happy birthday. On this day, 20 years ago in 1995, the Yankees hired 55-year-old Joe Torre as manager, replacing Buck Showalter. It was the 20th time that George Steinbrenner changed managers since buying the franchise in 1973, which meant that he changed managers 20 times in 22 years. This time it paid off. Torre guided the Yankees to 4 world championships, 1996, 98, 99, and 2000, and 2 more pennants in 2001 and 2004, losing both World Series in 7 games. 69 years ago tomorrow, in 1946 at Boston Arena, just prior to the first home game in Boston Celtics history, Chuck Connors of the home team broke the backboard while taking a usually harmless 15-foot shot. The board shattered because it was installed improperly. Connors played 2 years of pro basketball and 2 more in Major League Baseball with the Brooklyn Dodgers and Chicago Cubs before pursuing an acting career that spanned 40 years. Chuck's best-known role was his lead character, Lucas McCain, in the TV series The Rifleman, which aired from 1958 through 1963 and is still shown every Saturday morning on AMC. Finally, on this day, 8 years ago, in 2007, Navy ended a 43-game losing streak against Notre Dame with a 3-overtime 46-44 44 victory at Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend. Navy hadn't beaten the Irish since 1963 when quarterback Roger Staubach led Navy to a 35-14 win. The streak was the longest by one opponent over another in college football history. Now, the moment of truth is at hand. Tomorrow, Election Day. Please get out of the house and vote. See you Friday. Till then, be a good sport and stay loose.
Mondays can be rough, but you can end them on a high note. Seafood night at Bottlenecks. Choose from crab, clam, shrimp, and lobster specials, such as their little neck clams in garlic butter, only $1.95 a dozen, or handmade crab cake platter for only $8.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce Women's Networking Holiday Decorating Contest will be held for the 11th year. The contest is open to all chamber member businesses. Judges from the committee will visit participating businesses Wednesday, December 2nd from noon to 5:30. Prizes will be awarded in several categories. For more information, just call 570-455-1509 or email jferry@hazletonchamber.org. And one more announcement, the Department of Veteran Affairs Mobile Veteran Center, which provides free services to veterans and their families, is scheduled to visit Hazleton Tuesday, November 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Laurel Mall. Personnel will be on hand to provide a variety of services, including individual, medical, benefits, referrals, and more. For info, call 717-260-6136. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Ethel M. Culp of Hazleton. Memorial services Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. from the Hazel Chapel of the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 5 to 6:30. David Jones of Mountaintop. Private services will be held Thursday. Friends may call Wednesday from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Lehman Family Funeral Service. Clyde L. Comfort Sr. of Germansville. Funeral is Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. at the Heidelberg Union Church. Friends may call Tuesday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the Heinzelman Funeral Home. And Camille M. Turry of Freeland. The McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home will announce complete arrangements. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Matthew Madera of Barnesville. Matthew, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Ronnie Marchetti never leaves any really cool sports memorabilia around here, but you did leave your blimp here, Ronnie, but it does have an important message. Please vote on Tuesday. Election night coverage on SSPTV tomorrow. Plus on FYI, we're playing your favorite sports game show, Know Your Teammate. See you then. Take it easy.